Okay, so let me have Ms. Harper and Mr. Hagan both raise their right hands and take yourself off of mute. Okay, can you remove mute, Mr. Hagan? Okay. Do you swear that the testimony that you're about to present is the truth and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury?
I do.
Okay. Okay, and I understand you're not feeling well, Mr. Haygood. We'll try to keep this as brief as possible. So I do show a recent payment within 30 days, but it's not for the amount of $418. Was there another amount also paid? Okay, Mr. Haygood, you're back on mute.
That's the only payment that I made.
That was
Mhm.
okay. And what are you doing to get back on track with child support? Are you working now?
No, Your Honor.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
You know, I do see that you have made payments in September, October, and November. Is there going to be a payment for December?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And are you receiving those monies, Miss Harper? Oh, you're back on mute, Miss Harper.
I am, but I don't think that he is caught up to paying because I think he skipped a month. But I think he's paying. He's not paying when he's supposed to pay. He's only paying because he knows there's a court calendar coming up.
Right.
So he's paying within a couple of days just to show that he's making payment.
There's no way for anybody to say that I'm only paying because there's a court calendar coming up. If you can look at my track record, I've always paid my child support. It wasn't until I was on disability that I have not paid a substantial decline in my income. I mean, you can't take a microcosm snapshot of me within the last 8 months, and I haven't missed a payment since she filed for this. And furthermore, I don't think that the way that I'm paying, is showing a willingness not to pay.
Okay. I do see, some consistency here, although the problem is that it's not for the actual amount. Is there, I do understand that you've got limited income, but is the amount that you're paying, are you able to meet that $418? You're getting pretty close.
I'm doing everything I can to give her exactly what she's supposed to be paying. But my income was cut by 60%. I don't have any intention on not paying my child support. I never did that. Even when I paid my child support and she needed some extra, I was able to give her extra. That's just
We're
not my
not talking
character.
about extra. She actually stated that extra doesn't count. So we're not talking about extra. I'm talking about Judge, like he missed April's payment. He made a payment in May. He missed June's payment and made a payment in July. And then he made a payment in August, September, October. But that, like him not paying the full amount is like frustrating, being that he doesn't want to assist his own child with college requests that she's actually requested him. He doesn't want to add her onto his VA policy. I mean, I don't know what else to do. So, like it's such an inconvenience to have to come to court every month because he failed to do what he needs to do in a timely manner. He wants to do things on his own time.
Hold on, because I have a recollection. Was this the child support? Was this the case that we had some issues with the amount of disability being received?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so I believe that when it was checked into, you're getting a significant amount of disability from the military, and you're not contributing your child support that the court has ordered you to do. Is there a reason why you're not paying? I mean, you're very close in the amount that you're paying. Why don't you just go ahead and pay your full amount?
Your Honor, I explained to you that my income has been cut more than 60%.
Well, but we had evidence showing that maybe it was, cut by a significant amount, but the amount that you're receiving is still significant. Well, tell you what we're going to do, because I know you're not feeling well. I need you to present paperwork from, and I don't want it to be old. I want new paperwork of your monthly disability check to show me exactly what you are getting.
Okay.
And I'm going to need that by our next hearing date. Miss Lanier, what's our second? Wait a minute, let me think for a second. Yes, our second calendar in January is what date?
January the 19th.
Okay. Okay, so do you understand what I need, Mr.
Yep.
Haygood?
Yep.
Okay, okay. And and it's going to have to be official, because I want to say there was something that wasn't right about some of the paperwork that we've received in the past, but we're going to need to get that. Also, Miss Harper, are you able to get any paperwork, or has it just been by chance that you've received information? Because I think our information came from you.
So I haven't been able to get any information in regards to the VA. I've tried, but I don't know, he refuses to. His child reached out to him wanting information to apply for college, and he told her he wasn't in a position to help her. So I don't know. We're just taking things day by day and coming to court as scheduled.
Your Honor,
Okay.
the last documentation I saw was a letter that I got from Ms. Harper, and it looked like when she tried to apply for dependent benefits, it looked like Mr. Haygood had already tried to put the child on, and maybe said the child lived with him so that she wasn't able to get benefits. But the letter really wasn't clear, but that's what it appeared to be to me.
If you received paperwork to that effect, it was not true. I've never done that. I've never done that.
Okay, so you're under oath right now. What do you get in disability benefits each month?
$4,100.
$4,100.
Right.
And you can't pay another $100 towards your child support?
And I'm doing everything that I can, giving the maximum amount that I can, and still be able to sustain.
Well, but we don't count your expenses and your lifestyle as what prevents you from paying child support. Your last payment was $309. The one before it was $387. I don't see a reason why you can't just pay $418. Why do we have to keep doing this?
You can sit where you are and say, I don't see why, but I'm the one living this life, and it's difficult for me to pay anything.
No. You brought a child into this world, and as far as the court's concerned, that child comes before you. That child comes before Miss Harper. You are the one who you can't sit there in your seat and explain to me why you don't have the ability to provide support, adequate support for your minor dependent child. It's not up to you to decide that. The court has made that determination.
Your Honor, she is not my only child. So
But did you?
They have needs as well.
And those other children, are their mothers also have you on child support?
He only has one. He has two other ones, and he does have another case. But
okay.
She's not pressing the issue because she doesn't get the backlash that I get when it comes to my child.
Okay, because
Your Honor, it looks like he's paying roughly $600, maybe $700 between the two cases. The other case is the same amount, $418.
So
I'm paying,
at some point, Mr. Haygood, because you are more than a child support payment, in arrears, we're going to have, and I hope you understand that this is never going to end. You have $5,054 in arrearage. It will stay there beyond the age of majority for the child. But what we want is rather than you paying after your child is 18, we want the child while they're in the home to have the benefit of these monies. You know, I mean, it really does not do the same thing if you're just trickling money, you know, after the child has already reached the age of 18 to repay the mother for what she has had to put out to support your child. So I just want to know, when are you going to start paying your 418?
Well, I mean, I don't want to sit here and give you give you a date or anything, because you know I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say, well, I'll be able to do it next month. I'm not sure if I'll be able to do it next month.
So you're okay with a warrant being issued and being put in jail?
We're not paying.
Yes,
I have paid.
but you're not paying the amount. And if you remember from my, you know, from the information I provided to you at the beginning, is this is considered willful. You are choosing not to pay. It's not a situation where you have no job or you've got some kind of situation. We expect you to take out a loan and pay your child support while it is due, and then you can pay that off to the bank. But this is an expectation. It's not up to you to make a choice.
Your Honor, my situation won't allow me to get a loan, and I'm not willfully not paying the child support. I'm paying the maximum amount that I can.
Okay, well, you really need to think this over. So I'm going to give you to January the 19th, and then we're just going to have to move things on, and you can do the trial in state court and explain all of this to them after you've been booked and fingerprinted. But I'm not going to belabor this because we've been back and forth on this for way too long, and you're getting a substantial check every month. There's plenty of people who make far less money than you that are paying more and have more children and more responsibilities. I don't know what your responsibilities are, but if you need to move into a smaller house or drive a less expensive car, that's what you need to do. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and dismiss this, and we will be back on the 19th. Okay.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Your Honor, it's probably irrelevant, but I misspoke. His other case is $546 a month, so he's paying roughly $700 to $800 a month between the two cases.
Okay. Okay, we can take it into consideration, but until there's been some kind of adjudication by the court by way of a modification, you owe $418 a month. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and dismiss both of you to go.
Thank you. Have a good day.
What is it? Do I look fuzzy to you guys, or do I just look fuzzy to me? Oh,
You look like a ghost.
You're fuzzy. You look fuzzy.
I'm maybe I'm just going up to heaven. I don't know. What's going on?
You look like a ghost in the movies, yeah.
Okay, do you want me to bring in the
Ah,
attorney
there you
as
are.
Wait a minute,
well?
that's better.
What? Nope. You're flickering in.
Do you want me to bring in the attorney as well?
Yes. Okay, no problem. Okay, so I show that there has been a consistent payment. Looks like it's weekly. It started out as $94.60, and I know that would have made it the correct amount, but the last two have dropped to $50.80, which now is going to put us below the amount for child support. So why aren't we getting our full child support amount, Mr. Anderson?
I have no idea what you explained to me last time. What they were being split up. When I'm putting case numbers on there, and I'm also when I'm paying the weekly, I paid, I think one was 100, one was 200, one was 631, one was 500. So I'm not sure how they're being divided. I know. Well,
no matter how I divide it, it's $50 on one and $20 on the other. So that's not adding up to the 600. These numbers that you're saying.
Okay. Well, I have the receipts that shows my payments. But I don't know what else I can do. I'm making the payments to on the DCSS app, and that's where it's coming from. I make all the payments there.
Mr. Anderson, I'm sorry, Mr. Majeski, do you have any additional information? Because it's not adding up with what child support is receiving.
Judge, I've got a payment on, and I don't know how Human Services divides this up, but I got a payment on November 14th of $104. Then I've got a payment of 12/14/2023, $514. And I think what's happening here is, in addition to these two orders that you got on your calendar today, there are other ones out there, at least one that I know of in Clayton County. My understanding, and this is not really my wheelhouse as far as domestic stuff goes, that when you give this to the state, they divide it up proportionally among all the orders that they have. All the children get some. So I think that could explain it.
Well, yeah, that is definitely the way it is done. Child support, is there another order that's also taking money? Because I showed two.
Yeah, I see 3 active cases, this one and the next one on your calendar, and one that I'm looking at right now with a Miss Gales. That order is arrears only, so that would not get any money until the other 2 cases are fully paid. So the last time that case got any money was on 10/31. It did not share in any of these November payments. And so let's see, it's this.
So I'm trying to figure out, do you show a payment being made on 12/14 for $514?
One more case I need to look at here.
Okay.
3100269959. No. Okay.
But what I am showing, Mr. Anderson, is that in order for the monies to be divided correctly, you need to pay $621 a month.
Okay.
And that only is going to keep you current. That does not take care of the arrearages.
Well, Mike, can we pay like another $120 today or tomorrow or something like that?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
So that other case is 264, Your Honor, and that did share in all of these monies, but that other case only got $30 on 11/20, $30 on 11/15, $57 on 11/13.
Can we somehow prevent that case from? We can't.
No, law says that it has to go, and it's not exactly splitting it up. It goes proportionally to the order. So an arrears would get none. 264 gets a certain portion. This case is 441, so it would get the majority. His other case is 180 a month, so that would get a little less than this one. As you can see that on 11/20, the other case got $30, and the case below got $20 because the current support amount is less.
So the case that is already in arrears, no minor children, that's still going to get some money.
Not unless all 3 of his other cases are paid. This one, the one below, and the other one I just mentioned that has 264. If those are fully paid,
the 264. Okay, so no, I'm wrong then, because I thought that was a case that's in arrears. So the 264 needs to be paid monthly as well, which brings you to $885 is the amount that you would need to pay every month to, so that everybody got the correct amount of money. Okay, is that something that you can do, Mr. Anderson? Because that's really the only way this is going to get resolved. Okay.
Yes, and I thank you for that, Judge. I've been coming to these things with Mr. Anderson for a while now. This is the first time somebody's given us a magic number.
Okay.
Very helpful. Very, very helpful.
Okay. Well, hopefully we can actually get it started. So I'm going to give you, let's see. Okay. I'm going to trust that Mr. Majeski, you're going to help Mr. Anderson to get on track, because we still need that difference for December. And the difference for December is going to be, let's see, we need 371 for December. And then January forward, we need to, start getting it up to 885. Okay?
So with
And
that, I'm sorry, Your Honor.
go ahead.
With that 371, is that just for my case?
No, that's what he needs to pay to so that everybody gets their correct amount for December.
For December, what about for
Yes.
November? Does that just disappear?
Well, it doesn't disappear. That has already fallen into that arrearage amount of 7981.27. Anything that doesn't get paid, it falls into arrearages. So he will pay it. It's just that it will not be, part of current support.
Okay, and so essentially, did he not know the amount for each of his child support cases? Because these cases have been going on for years. So
Yes, I would think that he would, but now we have his counsel to witness to it. So he knows that it's 264 on one case, and this is just current support. It is 441 on your case, and then there is 180 on another case. And then, of course, none of these include arrearages, but now he is aware, at least I can put it down on my notes that he's been made aware that this is what he needs to pay monthly in order to stay current with all three of his cases.
Yeah, and I find it interesting that he's willing, especially now with his attorney here, to say that he can for sure make that payment. But for the last two court dates,
I'm going to object to this.
I'm sorry, I'm still speaking. He wasn't sure.
I'm allowed to interpose an objection, Judge. I believe
Well,
it's relevant. We've already made a decision.
Yeah. And unfortunately, Ms. Payne, I can't let you move forward with that because, he is allowed to object to that. Because moving forward, Mr. Anderson has stated that he is going to make his payments. So we're going to move with that. And I will reset this case. What is my first case in February?
It is February the 2nd.
Okay.
You heard me, Judge?
Yes, February the
Okay.
2nd, 2024 is when I will see you again. And at that time, Mr. Anderson, I am going to follow up to make sure that you paid your money for outstanding for December. You've made your payment for January and that you are prepared to make that payment for February. Is there a reason why you can't do an income deduction order? What type of job do you work?
Yes, I'm kind of doing cars on the side, car washing detail. That's good.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Okay. We need to get this moved forward. For you, it's easier than most. You just need to do one or two more cars. That's all, and you'll be able to get that paid. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Majeski, Attorney Majeski, and hopefully we can get things moved forward so that we don't have to have you keep coming back to these calendars. Okay.
Thank you, Judge. That completes my business with you. Can I be excused?
Yes, you are.
Will that take care of the other case as well?
You know what? No, I'm sorry. Let me just excuse Miss Payne, and we need to make Miss Aziz aware of her court date. Okay, so I'm sure you're aware, we have had some discussion about what it's going to take to make sure that each parent gets the money that they are entitled to with child support. We've come to the conclusion that the cases would be handled for just current support only if there was an amount of $885 paid each month. And Mr. Anderson has stated under oath that he is going to begin making that payment. Now, of course, I just want to make sure you're aware that that's not going to take care of your $13,000 of arrearages, but what I'm trying to do is prevent that from continuing to grow, as well as make sure that the payments are being made for each of the children that are under a child support order. Okay,
Yes.
have you, and go ahead.
I'm sorry. I know the last time we met last month, that number was brought to his attention. of what it would have to be, and it still hasn't been at all. And I know he's probably going to say it's divided and it's allocated how it needs to be, but if that still doesn't take up the fact that it's just not consistent.
It is not.
And I think he made the payment, what was it, last night?
Yeah, it was pretty recent because it's not showing. Yeah, 12/14. Yeah, that's just yesterday. So we know, yeah, I understand what you're getting at. We know that the payment was made prior to court, and probably if there was no court, it probably would not have happened. So, and that's the reason why I'm continuing him on this calendar so that we can get to the point where, these payments are being made consistently. I am willing to use my time to keep seeing him if he is going, because honestly, Mr. Anderson, the reason I do this, I'm waiting for you to mess up because you're not showing that you are going to do this on your own. And we need you to get to the point of understanding that this is not going to go away. I do think that you're capable of paying it. You just need to make up your mind and pay it. This should be the first thing that you take care of. The moment you have made $885 in the course of a month, this should be the first thing, not your rent, not utilities. This needs to be the first thing you pay. Okay, Mrs. East?
Your Honor, it's a little frustrating that Mr. Anderson comes in here with counsel. And he's probably, I don't know if they're under oath or not. But the fact that if he's probably going to say, Your Honor, can I speak?
I am not getting, ma'am, I lodged an objection. I'm not getting paid a dime for being here.
Right. I know he's going to say that again.
And that's why I asked if y'all are under oath, because Your Honor, it's just ridiculous at this point. And the fact that he comes in here with counsel, whether you're getting paid or not.
Okay. And I understand.
It's intimidation, Your Honor, of that he does not care.
Well, it doesn't intimidate me. And, and I'm sorry, Mr. Majeski, I'm going to put a stop to everything, right now. So, we're just going to have to be here as much time as we need to be here to get things back on track. And that's all I can tell you, because we have rescheduled another reset for February the 2nd. I've already made him aware that at that point, I'm going to be looking to see that $371 was paid to get him current for December. And we need to have all of the money for January paid so that, if we begin to fall, 30 days behind, then we can, go ahead to step 2, which is to take out a warrant. And that's just the way those are my only options. So that's what I'm going to do. Yes, Mr. Majeski.
I just want to make it very clear. I do not know this lady or the other lady. I've done nothing to intimidate anybody. I'm a professional. It's my job to come to court. I haven't done anything wrong here, and I resent the insinuation that I have.
No, and I don't think she's saying that you've done anything
If you're not getting paid, this is not work then, right? This is just something that you're advocating.
Well, no, we're not going to get into
Your Honor,
all of that.
Can I say one thing and then I'm done?
Yes.
Having counsel for a child support case is either you paid it and you're taking care of your responsibilities or you're not. It's not very detailed,
Mrs. Eves, yes, you're absolutely right. But I can't, he has a right to counsel, so I have to give him that ability. Mr. Majeski has said under oath that he's not being paid, so I can only believe that he's not being paid. And we just have to move forward, because at the end of the day, the only thing that's important is that your child gets the child support that they should get. Okay, so we're going to work towards that and, hopefully get this resolved.
Judge, I want to just keep my client. Would you rather me here to advise him and tell him that he needs to pay this or not? Which way is more helpful? I've done nothing to try to get this child support reduced. I've done nothing to keep him from paying his child support. I just show up here to make sure I know what's going on so I can properly advise him on what he needs to do. And we do that here this morning, Judge. I'm not doing anything nefarious. I'm not. This is just a friend of mine. We all have our friends in this profession. We've all done it.
Okay, and I understand that, and and I appreciate you being here, and I appreciate you telling Mr. Anderson, hopefully every month that he needs to get this done, because I'm sure you would rather do something else with your time as well. And all we need is for him to increase this amount, by a few $100s, which is probably just 1 or 2 cars, and you wouldn't have to be here. And Mrs. Eves and you know, the other mother would not have to be here either. So, you know, the ball is still in Mr. Anderson's court. He needs to take care of his business. These are his children. Okay, last thing, Mrs. East, because I got a big calendar.
Okay, yes, ma'am. Okay, so so I think he paid $500 when it should have been around, yeah, $514. And I think you said last court that it had to have been at least, I think it was like 900 or
885 to take care of current support. I probably put in the arrears, but it just doesn't look like the arrears are going to happen. So I would be happy if we just could get to the point where we can keep our child support current and not increasing the arrearage amount every single month. Because although we're here, we're still increasing our arrearage.
Right. And then you said Superior Court takes care of arrearage.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and you do have do have $13,000 of arrearage, and yes, you can go to Superior Court, and I can't tell you how much, but they will do an order. They will take away, you know, the driver's license and the taxes. They will move things forward. Okay.
And even if he's like illegally not paying his taxes, they'll look into that as well.
That I can't answer. No, no. Attorney Carson says no.
I'll take.
Okay.
And then when is the next? I'm sorry.
February 2nd, 2024.
February.
I'm sorry, you're going into a new year with this. Go ahead, Ms.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you say that he had to pay $371 in order for all the cases to be paid?
For December.
For December. You know, I mess up on math a lot, so I don't mean to. But it looks to me like it's more like $489 that he needs to pay in order for all of the monies, because he paid $196 on this one, $117, basically $118 on the other one, and basically $82 on Mrs. E's case. And when I added those up, that comes to $395. But he needs to pay $885 for all three to get paid up. So it looks to me like he still needs to pay $489 rather than $371. That might have been $371, might have been just for these two cases. But if he only pays for these two cases, they won't get paid without that third one.
Well, I'm not going to say my math couldn't be. I just, what the amount that I had for him for December that I thought you gave me was $514. So maybe that wasn't correct.
Yeah, it might have been just for these two cases. We needed to add in that third one.
Okay. Then. So we're going to go with the $395 for December, and then moving forward, you need $885 a month. Does that sound about right, Attorney Carson?
Well, it's $489 that he'll need to pay to get December up for all three cases.
Oh, $489. Where did I write that down? Okay, $489. You know, I think what's happening is some of these are probably a previous month.
Unless I think I heard something about receipts. Maybe he paid something last night that I don't know about. Maybe there's
he paid
about $504 last night.
Ah, okay. Then that would take care of all of it.
No, but that was the initial $514.
That was the only payment made in December. That wasn't an additional. That was the only payment. Unless you're showing something else. Because I don't show any payments for December on my list for either parent.
Right. So in order to pay December for all three cases, it's $885. And he's saying he paid
$514. But it was just yesterday, okay. So you probably don't have it.
Okay, so I see where we're differing then. Okay, so 885 minus the 514. Okay, so it's back to the 371 that you said. Okay, I wasn't aware of that other one. Okay.
Okay, so yeah, 371 for December, and then 885 moving forward, and we are going to reconvene on February the 2nd so that we can make sure that this money has been paid. Okay. Okay, and and the other thing, Mr. Anderson, is try to, you know, we all understand, yeah, you're kind of pushing things to the wire, but try to make your payment 5 days in advance so that, you know, we'll have the record of it on the paperwork and we don't have to kind of be hunting for things, because as you can tell, that creates issues too.
And
okay,
yes,
just makes it longer.
And in my defense, I'm not waiting till the court date. Last one, when I made the payment.
Okay. No need to say anything else, Mike.
Okay. Right. Okay. So I'm going to dismiss you. Have a good weekend, and Thanks again for your cooperation. Nothing but the truth.
Thank you, Judge. Happy holidays.
No, you too.
Please.
Okay. So I thought we had some monies paid. I am showing that we have 0 monies paid on this case. Is that correct, Mr. Berry?
Yes, I'm trying to pay today.
You're trying to pay today. How much are you going to pay today?
9.
900?
Yes.
Okay. I am going to give you the opportunity to hold your word. But I'm going to put you right back on the calendar to make sure that it's done. So, Ms. Lanier, what's my first calendar in January?
January the 5th.
Okay, so we're going to come right back on January the 5th. But and I'm only doing this because I'm trying to see if this child can get some money for Christmas. But if there is no money that has move forward because nothing has happened thus far in this case, I'm putting down here on my notes that warrant shall issue because I don't recall you paying since you've been coming back and forth to court. Ms. Howard, can you correct me if I'm wrong? Have you received any money?
No, ma'am.
Okay, and what was the reason that you couldn't pay before today?
I'm not working.
Well, that's not a reason.
Okay. So I'll be paid today. So is that noted?
Yeah, well, I'm not noting anything other than warrant shall issue if $900 is not received, because this has been going on too long and I don't understand why. Is there a reason why you're not working?
When I tried to explain that, you didn't want to hear it. So I don't know what else to say. I'm trying to pay $900 today. So can I proceed with that? Like, do I need to come down somewhere to pay? Or
well, yeah, you can come in to pay. That's no problem. Or you can go to many of the kiosks and other available ways to pay. If you need more information,
yes.
How are you trying to pay? I guess is the question. Are you trying to pay through the kiosk or do you want to go to, I don't think you can go to the office. Can you, Ms. Carson?
No, they generally frown on that. No.
Yeah.
Okay. So going to the kiosk, where is that located?
They're in the lobbies of the offices, but they do tend to charge a bit more. The most economical way to do it is get a money order and mail it in.
Okay.
Yeah, I also
wanted to let you know that your driver's license was suspended July 30th, 2018. You're aware of that?
Yeah.
2018.
I have told him that he can go to Walmart and get a Walmart card. And
but we're not talking about what you said. I'm trying to get a clarification from the courts on how to do it. I'm not trying to hear what your suggestions are.
Okay. Hold on, Mr. Berry. And Ms. Howard, we want him to pay directly through child support so that it gets credited because
that's what I was going to say. He can get a Walmart card because he doesn't have a banking account. I told him that he can contact the child support and he can pay over that way, or he can go and there's an app that he can go on, DCS app, and he can that he can pay it online that way. I've told him that. He don't want to hear what I have to say.
Okay, so yeah, she is accurate in what she's saying. So if you want to, go ahead to pay, move it forward because clearly she's probably already told you that a few times. Okay. Okay, so I'm not going to belabor it. Everybody knows what they need to do here, and we will see you again January 5th, 2024. And I suggest that you seek employment. It may not be what you want to do, but something that you need to do. And, and you can always work a job that you're not happy with until you find the one that you are happy with so that you can pay your expenses because you've got $2,280 that have accrued in arrearage and you need to, take it seriously. Okay. I'm going to dismiss both of you and I will see you on January the 5th.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I guess that is a problem if they don't identify themselves. We'll move to the next case. And can you send Ms. No. Can you send Miss Davenport a email or make a phone call and let her know that she needs to be present? And Mr. Carr, we're just going to take matters back up with you in a little while after we've given her a chance to respond. Okay, so you're going to be back in the waiting room for a few more minutes.
I actually on my way to a job interview.
Okay, we'll try and be as brief as we can, but we need to make sure that the other party has notice of what we're doing here. Okay. Position number. So, Mr. Green, I do show that you've made a payment on 12/7. Oh, this looks like it's an income deduction order.
Oh, I think Miss Arena Camarillo might have messed up some dates here. That 12/7 is 22, not 23.
Yeah.
I was getting happy there. Okay. Okay, so Mr. Freeman,
Yes,
that would mean that you have not made a payment since September.
Yes, ma'am, since September.
So what's going on?
So when we appeared on court, the first time we appeared on court, September 15th, I informed you that I have a possible criminal case, that there could be a possible warrant for my arrest for a charge of harassing communications. Back in September 18th, I got arrested. The charge was, the police report basically stated that I called my son's mother, which is Denise Clark, and Essence was on the phone. Denise stated to you that Essence was never on the phone. Essence is my wife, I have a no contact order with. Denise stated to you on that previous recording that Essence was never on the phone and she didn't do anything to set me up. And you stated to me that you don't feel that Denise would do anything to jeopardize the safety and welfare of our child. So you don't believe that she'll go ahead and put me in a situation for that. Well, I got arrested September 18th. I got out on October 25th on an ankle monitor, a bond and an ankle monitor. We met again November 3rd. Ms. Clark was not there November 3rd. We met again and I told you that I have an upcoming trial on November 29th. You informed me that, hey, just because you have these things, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't be paying for your child. And I agreed to that. However, situation changed. When I went to court on November 29th, Mrs. Clark testified that she did in fact have Essence on the phone. And she went ahead and said things along the lines of, Mrs. I'm going to kill Essence and things that she testified all of this inside of court. So it goes back into the original arrest from September 15th. Now, because this has been a on-standing 3-month thing from September all the way to currently, and I've been getting arrested, getting out, getting arrested, cases dismissed, and then going back to get arrested, my money has been drained. And I have to pay lawyer fees in order to stay out. And then I have to pay bond fees in order to get out, as well as pay the ankle monitor fee in order to stay out as well. Due to all of this, due to all of these different allegations and her admitting that she actually did set me up, which subsequently got me arrested back in September when I was starting to make payments. My last payment was in September, then I was arrested the week after over them two setting me up. It kind of put me in a position to where not only I can't make any money, but it put me in a position to where now I have to pay lawyers and pay bonds in order to get out, to get back on track. So as of yesterday, I work for a roofing company. As of yesterday, I've just put a roof back on. It takes about 3 weeks to get a check. I have no issue with making a payment. The only issue was me having to pay all these other people during this process of me trying to get out. I believe that the Mrs. Clark should take some blame because this charge that I was hit with, that I had to spend almost $1,800 just to fight, as well as an additional money to lawyer fees. I'm still in debt with these lawyers to get out. If Mrs. Clark and Essence would have never done what they did, Mrs. Clark would have received money and there would have been a continuous payment. While I was incarcerated, I had my TV mount business that I was mounting TVs. So my income has drastically declined due to not being able to be out and provide. Like I said, we just had trial November 29th. There's still an active criminal case that I need to get the recordings of the first time we met on September 15th to help defend me from that criminal case. So now I will not be incarcerated again for being set up by Mrs. Clark and Mrs. Essence Freeman.
Well, why would you be? Why would you already did time on that? So why would you have to go again?
I had I'm on bond for that. Actually, I had a probationary hearing for violation of probation that I had that hearing for, and that violation of probation hearing on November 29th. That's when I found out that Denise did actually have Essence on the phone, and then when Denise started stating that I was her and I'm being manipulative and things of that nature inside of the courtroom, that's when I actually found out. Because up until that point, when she told you back on September 15th that Essence was never on the phone, and you said you don't believe that Denise will put me in a situation where it can financially hurt myself or our child. And when she testified that to you, as well as sending me multiple messages stating that Essence was never on the phone, at that point I believed her. What happened when we went to court November for the probation verification, when all that information came out, I now see that, well, she not only did she lie to you, she also lied to another judge as well. And all of this stuff has put me in a position to where I cannot pay for my son's childcare or any types of things going with my son, because all of this wasted money, over $1,800, that money could have went to my child. But unfortunately, it had to go to my freedom. So I feel I need a little bit more time, because if Denise and Essence would have never cooked up this plan, we would never be able to meet. Because as you see back in September, when I got out of prison, and even in work release, I still found some way to make a payment. It wasn't until September 18th when I was arrested where the payments had initially stopped again. So the only time I haven't paid is when I've been incarcerated. However, now I'm still battling. My freedom is still at jeopardy because of the lies that was told. So that's why I need a copy of the first hearing back in September 15th, where Denise testified, raised her hand and stated that Essence was never on the phone, so I can go back and counter what she just testified in court with Judge Byers in Gwinnett County, saying that Essence was on the phone and these were all these things. Unfortunately, I'm not a type of man that abandons his children. My father wasn't there. So I'm going to make sure that my child has everything they need. And if you look through the history,
and unfortunate, that is fortunately, I don't want anybody to do that. But let me just, stop you here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you time to get yourself together. I can't testify as to anything that happened, because everybody who's in here is just on oath. They're speaking on their own accord, and that is going to have to be handled by another court. I don't know about recordings or whether they can be released. You'll have to, do a subpoena and find out what you have to do with regards to that. But I will do a reset.
Your Honor, may I speak?
Yes, and I just want to let you know why. He says that there is a check that he will be issued for some roofing work, but it's going to take 3 weeks. So I was going to set this for February the 2nd of 2024, so that we can make sure that that gets paid as well as January. Okay, so go ahead, Ms. Clark.
He's stating that his money has been tied up or whatever the case may be. I'm not sure if you've gotten the screenshot that I've sent over in regards to proof of him having been working. I also spoke with child support. They've been trying to reach out to him and get in contact with him in regards to paying the child support. He did say that he has he works for a roofing company, and he also has a side business as an entrepreneur, from the Mountain TVs. So if you're Mountain TVs, you've been Mountain TVs since August. You just recently posted 5 days ago that you've been Mountain TVs. Up until this point, also what you don't know is in your Venmo, I can see how much money you've made from Mountain TVs. It's public. Venmo is public. So the last 2 people that you've mounted TVs for back in August and September on Venmo, it shows where they've given you money for Mountain TVs. So you've had from August, September, October, November, December, minus what has been going on in court. That still does not stop your obligation to pay child support. That's what the judge has said. So you've made this money. So if you mounted 10 TVs, $80 times 10, that's $800. Okay, fast for a basic mount. So then you have 2 other type of mounts. So I'm just going to assume that the other mount is maybe $100. That's $1,000 per 10 TVs. Okay, maybe $125 for that third mount. That's $1,250 for per 10 TVs. So you have no reason or excuse as to why you have not paid child support. She's going to give you time. That is fine. you say 3 weeks, that is fine. But I just wanted to make the judge aware that you have been working. You've been working for this roofing company since August. They have not fired you. You told her back in at the last time that we were here that they fired you and you were no longer working for this roofing company, but you've been per what they've said, you've been working for them since August. But that's it. That's okay.
Okay, so we all understand what page one another is on. So I expect to see everybody here on February the 2nd, 2024, and those payments should have been made. Make sure that they're done 5 days in advance so that we'll be able to see them on the system. Okay, if you do it the day before, we're not going to be able to see it. Okay?
All right.
Under penalty. Have a Merry Christmas to both of you.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so I am showing that the last payment received was in September, but Mr. Maddox, you appear to be working a job. Why is it that we're not seeing child support?
Yes, ma'am. Just like I explained last time, it just having my kids, and I've had them, majority since we saw last time. But just having them every Monday, Wednesday, and every other weekend. I've been providing for them in my own home.
Okay, I'm gonna stop you right there, Mr. Maddox, because
I'm just.
Okay, you can unmute him, but
Yes, ma'am. But to just nip everything in the bud, I was just asking, can I have the income deduction order so that I can turn it into my job and move forward and be done with this whole thing?
of course you can. Have you asked for one? Because we usually ask you.
No, ma'am, I haven't. And I didn't ask for one last time. So can I get one now, and I will turn that in?
And when are you now? You understand too that that's not going to be an excuse, because you have to make payments until that goes into place. So tell me when you are going to make your payment of $381.
Next Friday. This is the first weekend that I haven't had my children, and I'm able to work.
But I don't want to even hear about that. You're working right now. I mean, if you need to have the children less so that you can support them, that I'm sure can be arranged. But this can't be the reason that you're not paying child support.
It actually is 100%. But like I said, I will. If the money is all that matters to you guys and not my children, so I will just pay the money.
Well, of course, the children matter. That's why we're asking for the money. So, can someone give him the income deduction in the chat so that we can get things started?
And all I need to know is his job. I'm going to try to send him a chat here, and then just send me back your job information.
All right.
Okay, I just sent you a little message. If you type back your job information, we have job information, and we sent out a deduction in July, it looks like, but we didn't get anything back.
Yeah, I never received it.
Are you self-employed? Are you self-employed, or do you have an employer?
I have an employer.
Okay. Yeah, you wouldn't receive it. It would go to your employer, the address that you gave us.
Okay. Yeah, I've already spoken with them and they're on board, but they just had with moving forward with it and getting everything taken care of. So the moment they get it, it'll be signed and taken care of.
It's going to take a few weeks. So that's why I'm telling you, you need to make your child support payments directly, until you start actually seeing the money come out of your paycheck. Okay, so you make it directly into child support.
I'm trying to find the job that he said. He just gave me an address. Okay. I think we have something here that I can, yeah, all right, I found it, and I will have them send something over to that job. We had a different job.
Okay, and I'm going to reset you for January the 19th so that we can make sure that we have the paperwork that we need and that it's moving forward. And also you need to, go ahead and get your payment in for December, because you're already at $1,924 in arrearages for non-payment of child support, and we don't want that to continue growing. So just make sure that you, start paying into child support so that we have record of what is being paid. Okay, any questions?
I have a question, Tanner. Could you reiterate what you mentioned in the introduction about the past due child support? I know when we came to court last month, there was an order for him to pay November and December before today's date.
Right. And unfortunately, once it actually falls into arrearage and it gets put into that amount of arrearage, I can't order him to pay it, because then he would be paying it twice, but So he's got $1,924 in arrearage. That would not count December as yet. So that's why I want December to just go ahead and pay that so that we don't continue to make that amount larger. Okay?
So I'm gonna pay that by Friday, but Your Honor, may I be excused? I have a cardiologist appointment I'm about to walk into.
Okay, we are done. Just make sure that you're here January the 19th and make sure that you pay that $381 during the month of December. Okay?
Gotcha. Okay.
Another question. I asked last time if I had to be present, but I still received a letter in the mail to be present for it today. I need to be present for the January court date. I don't want to. I know they still called my name this morning for attendance, but I don't want to get in any trouble for not showing up.
Right, and you wouldn't get. I just don't want to accidentally dismiss your case.
Okay, so if I need to be here, Your Honor, I can.
I'm hoping that we can get him onto an income deduction order, but I hate to say, but it's been a little hard-headed. So if we need to do an arrest order, I want you to be here because we really need it to happen immediately.
So that's my concern, because he's voiced to me that he's not interested in paying child support. So I know that when we come to the 19th, it's going to be the same thing. That was initially filed for the abandonment warrant because I tried to work with him. I sent him resources, I sent him job fairs and so forth, but he's just totally against supporting financially, and that's why we're here. He was aware of the order from last month when you mentioned he needs to at least pay no in December.
Let me ask you something, because he's kind of implying that you're demanding that he take care of the children at the times that he needs to work. No.
It's not true. No, even the days that we have agreed, my son is in daycare. So he's never having to miss out work for the care of our son.
Okay. So he's not physically taking care of him. He's just maybe picking him up and dropping him off from childcare as we do, and we don't consider that, that we can't work because of it. Okay. I got you. Okay, then. We will reconvene on January the 19th. And, and I'm sorry, I'd like to make it so that I can dismiss you, but I don't feel good about that right now. We might need to put a little bit of fear in him. Okay.
So what is the process of the arrest order?
When we do an arrest, he will just have to turn himself in. He will get a signature bond, and he'll be booked and fingerprinted and released so that he can go back out and work a job. So that's basically the process, but then it moves from my court into a state court setting. And I'm sorry, this camera is acting crazy again.
It may be the lighting, Your Honor.
It could be. I just don't understand it. It's probably some crazy way that the sun is hitting the camera. Okay, so anyhow.
My prediction, even with knowing him, is that he's thinking that it's going to continue to be reset and reset and reset.
And it won't. I mean, I give you a certain amount of time, and then I have to move on. We can't keep doing this. But, but I will say he does seem to be a little bit closer. Now he's not arguing so much about, the child care issue. He's asking for an income deduction order. So I think we're moving forward.
In a way, because my challenge with that is that he is seeking new employment. So which means when he seeks a new employer, they won't be able to collect from this previous employer, or knowing him that I do, he won't go to work.
Okay. Well, we have systems in place for all of this, but we try to give, we try our best to give everyone the benefit of the doubt and give them the opportunity to be a parent to their child. Did he legitimate his child?
No, I've encouraged for that process.
And that's something else, because I'm listening, and I know you already know this, but I'm listening to all of this about how much he cares for his child, but he needs to legitimate his child. I mean, and that way he will get legal visitation. So all of this right now is just something arranged between the two of you.
Yes, I provided him with a printed out documentation for him to legitimize his son. I don't think that he thinks that he has to, which I don't place restrictions in terms of visitations and he wants to see him. But I've also encouraged him to legitimize both of his children. He has another pending child support case, but just giving him education on what that looks like, why it's beneficial for him, even though I give him full access, even when it comes to medical visits and all of those things, but he won't legitimize.
So let me just, and of course, I'm not going to encourage anything that, your child, that's bad for the child, but sometimes it's better to withhold visitation and make him come forward to the court and do it the right way. Because otherwise they just don't do it. And it is important for the child mentally, right now the child is still young, to know that their parent cared enough to legitimize. And if something were, God if something were to happen to him, if his parents were to say, I never saw that kid before, I don't know who that is, your child literally will have no recourse to get any kind of insurance, any kind of benefits, anything from their father. So it is important that they legitimize and, and take it seriously. Okay. But that's up to you. Okay. But I'm going to go ahead and dismiss you to come back on the 19th of January, 2024. I will see you again.
Thank you for having my calendar, and I'll see you next year.
Okay. I need both of you to audibly respond.
Yes.
Okay. So,
it's the long one upstairs in the workroom. I'm sorry, my computer's gonna die.
Oh, no problem. Okay, so Mr. Phelps, I show that you made a very small payment. December 4th. What is going on with child support? You have a low child support obligation, $362 a month. So what is the issue? Why isn't that getting paid?
I have no control when my contractor pay me. When my contractor pay me, I will pay the remaining from last month and this month. If you check the payments, that's what's been going on. I've been paying whenever my contractor pay me. I have no control on when he pays me. So when he pays me,
you do have control. You have control that you can get another job.
I don't pay myself.
No, you get another job.
No, I wait on my contractor to pay my money.
Well, that's not working for you.
Yeah, it works. They get the payment. Have you checked other payments? It'd be a lump sum that I pay when my money comes.
But it's not putting you ahead because you've got $13,000 worth of arrearages. It'd be one thing if you were going to pay us $13,000, but I doubt it. You're going to just
nobody have control when my contractor pays me except for him. You all do not control when my contractor pays me.
Listen to me, Mr. Phelps. You have control to get a different job or to get a second job. If he's not paying you in such that you can take care of your bills, you need to move on because child support is not going to accept 18 years of this.
My son 12 years old. I guess y'all be paying me until he's 18. Then y'all gonna grow with us then.
No, we're not going to pay you.
No control on when I get paid. When I get paid, I pay a lump sum.
Okay, Mr. Phelps, I'm not going to argue with you. We are going to go ahead and issue a warrant for your arrest, and you can handle it between you and the jail, and then state
it don't matter. You're only taking from my child. Plain and simple. You don't control when I get paid. I get paid from my contractor. When my contractor pays me,
I am going to count this as a refusal to pay, and a arrest warrant shall issue. Okay, and that's the way that will be handled because we're not going to go through this for the next 6 years.
Thank you.
Okay, so do you have that, Ms. Lanier and Ms. Barrett? Are you able to come in and sign the warrant?
Yes, I can.
Okay, as soon as you take care of your
part. Trent. She knows she's gonna get her money. Plain and simple.
Okay. All I say, it's just with me, it's just not consistent. That's the only thing. Like little payments. Like, it's the month of Christmas. I don't even got my phone on right now because I'm sacrificing. I have bills. Like everything is pending. Like I literally sacrifice. I have other as well. And
Miss Barrett, you don't have to explain. You're doing the right thing. I mean, bills need to be paid on time. So when you're raising a child,
and then I constantly keep getting disrespected, and I don't even ask. It took me 10 years to finally do a child abandonment. That's because my son is older, he's bigger. It's life. We got to take care of the kids. I don't ask him for much. We don't even talk on the phone. My child age, I just let my son talk to him and go on, but I do appreciate it.
Okay, so you know where to go for the warrant?
No, ma'am.
Okay, I'm going to have Miss Lanier give that to you in the chat, and so we'll go ahead and move that forward. Okay. I'm sorry, but have a Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay.
Bye.
Both of you are dismissed.
Thank you.
It's quite all right. Refresh my memory about Mr. Price. What was the issue with him?
Mr. Price had an actual final exam this morning.
Oh, that's right.
Because he did sign in the last court hearing, but he was having issues with his computer. But he could hear us, but he couldn't see us. But he has a final exam today, and actually going on right now. So he did send me the payments. I think I was sending to you, or was that the other case?
I don't know, but what
one, Your Honor, this one is there was a New York order, and New York apparently child support terminated it, and he's looking at that as the order is all over. I explained to him that just means New York isn't collecting anymore. We're going to register that order and enforce it here. But he doesn't seem to think he has to pay any child support.
Yeah. Now I do remember. Okay, is Miss Redmond present?
I believe she answered earlier, but I believe she's one of these cell phones, so not sure which one. And again, Judge, before you came on, I had everybody's name on here, and then it logged out, and then now everybody is, I have one.
Helter skelter.
2, 3. I have 4 cell phones, and I'm not sure who is who.
Well, they're growing, so people are moving out and putting the cell phone. So we're going to leave those to the end. So I'm going to leave this.
So we're going to position 13.
Position number 13, Torian Reed and Samantha Ming. And I don't know if we ever had Samantha Ming answer.
So are you resetting 12 due to his exam that he's taking? You're resetting that one?
I want to talk to Miss Redmond because I might just do a warrant. Let me just see what she says.
Okay, but you want me to do the cell phones at the end, correct, Judge?
Yeah, we'll just hold them to the end. If they're not going to identify themselves, they just have to wait. So,
so are we ready for position 13?
Okay. Torian Reed and Samantha Ming.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so Mr. Reed, I'm not showing a payment since October the 20th. What have you made another payment?
No, I haven't. We went to court. Now I currently now have joint custody. We alternate weeks. The judge.
Okay, so how much child support?
I'm trying to run it down to you so I can let you know what happened.
Yeah, but I don't really need to know anything other than.
There's no way that you would know what happened.
Did the
I'm not on child support.
order?
I'm responsible for arrears. But when I have to go to juvenile court to get the new order to where I can bring it to child support. Child support. I went up to child support. They told me that they only had in there that they told me I paid $900 and something and I was gonna be done with it. I was like, well, no, I just did court. So are you sure? So
well, yeah, the arrearages have you have to pay the arrearages.
Yeah,
I know you can't go backwards. Yeah. Okay, so let me just ask Miss Ming. Miss Ming did the court change the order?
I guess they said no child support because we have joint custody. Okay. So it's just he's responsible for the back payment.
Okay.
We didn't receive anything in the mail yet or anything with that information as of yet.
But you were there for court?
I was.
Okay. So Attorney Carson, did they send you anything?
He came in the office apparently and they told him we need a certified copy. So we haven't changed anything until we get a certified copy.
Okay. So with regards to our case, we do not handle arrearages. That has to be done through Superior Court. So if all of this is accurate, and Ms. Ming also testified to it as well, there's really nothing more that I can do. So I'm just going to go ahead and dismiss this.
Okay, thank you. So if anything else, I just follow up with Superior Court if I'm not getting my arrearage.
The arrearage, correct. Okay. So
you.
I hope both of you have a good Christmas. Bye-bye.
You too. Happy holidays. Happy New Year.
Oh, that was an easy one. Thank you, Lord.
Hi, and I'm so glad I didn't let him talk. It was going to be 30 minutes. I could tell.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so I am showing that we have not received the child support payment since April of this year. So can you tell me what is going on, Mr. Scott?
I had expressed to Ms. Lynette that I was in the process of moving. So the payments was going to slow up until I can get back on my feet.
But this has been going on since April. How long does it take you to move?
No, I had moved, but I had to get the money up to move. I'm not working right now.
And you think that this is a reason to not pay child support?
No, I don't think it's a reason not to pay child support, but I believe it's a reason. I mean, for me to be able to survive to even pay child support, I had to do this.
But how is your child supposed to survive? You're legally responsible for supporting a minor child. And if it were because of you, your child would not have eaten since April.
But I had to survive to be able to take care of my child too.
And so should we put you before an innocent child that is not even old enough to work a job? Or do you go first?
No, I don't believe that. I believe in taking care of my child. I don't have a problem with paying child support, but I also have other children in another case that I shouldn't even be paying child support for because they're grown. I don't understand why I'm still paying child support for them.
Well, that's not this case.
Okay, and one lives with me too. So, but this is what I'm saying. So it's a burden on me. I don't have the money. I'm not working right now to pay all this.
So why aren't you working?
I'm trying to figure out why am I still paying child support for people who
No. Why aren't you? But that's not the issue in this case. You've got a minor child here. Why aren't you working?
Well, I'm taking care of my brother and my mother right now.
Aren't they adults? Aren't they adults?
Yeah, they're elderly.
But they're responsible for themselves.
Not really. They're elderly.
Okay, well, they cannot take priority over your minor child. I just want to make sure you understand.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah, you can't claim priority over this child, and you can't bring family members in to say that they have a priority over this child, because it's not like you're paying $50 here and there. You have paid nothing. To me, when you tell Ms. Bowler that, the payments are going to be slow, I would think that you're going to pay something, but you haven't paid anything.
Okay. Now, I was saying until I get back on my feet, I don't have a problem with paying child support.
Okay. And if it takes you 18 years to get back on your feet, what is the child supposed to do?
It's not going to take me 18 years.
Well, it's taking you a long time. And even when you were paying, it appears that you have had more months not paying than paying, because we're at $5,069.42. Ms. Bowler, how old is this child?
4.
4. Oh my gosh. Yes, this child has only been on the earth for 4 years. So that would be 12, 24, 48 months. And out of those 48 months, you haven't paid anything if you're up to $5,000.
I haven't paid anything.
Basically, you have spent more money. You have paid more months that you did not pay than you did pay. Let's put it that way. In this child's short life, you have not managed to pay enough to even say that you paid more than you have not paid during these months. But I know this is not a surprise to you, because you know exactly what you're doing. So I need to know when you are going to make your $300 payment, because this can't go on any longer.
I could make the payment sometime this month. But, Your Honor, I'm trying to figure out, how can I get my payments reduced?
Well, you have to go. You have to go to child support, and you have to request it. You have to do the work. It's not up to Ms. Bowler, and it's not up to the court. You have to do that. Okay, it's not going to just happen. And while you're going through whatever hearings or information, just remember, you have to pay $300 a month until such time. And Ms. Bowler is being awfully nice, because you don't even have an arrearage amount. And so I don't even know if you can go before the court and say anything, because not only are you not paying your current support, but you're not even making payments towards your arrearage.
Well, they never tell me how to make no payments towards the arrearage. You just pay child support and it goes towards it.
But you're not. So it's not happening.
I haven't been paying. I just told you I was moving. So I'm trying to get back on my feet.
Some people come in here and they say that, their leg has been amputated. They were 6 times. Those I can kind of go with. But you can't tell me that you're moving and that's the reason for not paying child support. Some people, I've had clients who they are homeless and they make their child support payments. They're willing to make that sacrifice. And I'm definitely not telling you to do that. But, you certainly can't tell me that moving is an excuse, and that moving can take until April till now. And even before April, you never made a full child support payment. $300 is low.
That's because they was taking it from the other case. They was splitting it up.
Well, as they should, because you've got the responsibility for more than one
that's
child.
why the payments wasn't in full. I was paying
the
payments.
No, they would be full if you made payments enough for both children. They're not full because you're not.
There's no way possible I could do that. There's no way possible I could have had to do that.
What is preventing you from working now?
I told you I'm taking care of my elderly mother and brother.
Okay, if that's going to be it, then I'm going to go ahead and issue the arrest warrant, because that could go on for another 30 years. I mean, that's not an excuse.
But Your Honor, if I'm willing to make the payment, like I just told you before, what's the problem with that?
Okay. We'll go with that. I'm going to put you down for my January 5th calendar, and we will follow up to see if that $300 payment has been made January 5th, 2024. Okay, Ms. Bowler, can you be present that day? Because I think I'm going to need you to sign an arrest warrant.
Yes.
Okay, and it's not going to be, you're going to have to make,
warrant?
Absolutely, because
and I'm
you
trying to make the payments.
basically what you're telling me is that you are unwilling to work a job and pay child support. I cannot accept that you're going to take care of your mother and your brother and not your child. And you have told me that over and over again.
No,
So
I
if that's
never
your
said I wasn't willing to work, Your Honor. I said this is what I was doing at the time. When have I told you that this is what I'm continuously going to do?
Because it's irrelevant. Because you're mentioning it. It has nothing to do. You taking care of your mother and your brother has nothing to do with paying child support. Zero, because you do not have a legal obligation to help either of them. Your legal obligation is to your child. So you pay your child support first, and whatever is left over, that's what goes to your mother and your brother. And there's no other explanation that you can give me that's going to convince me that even if they're elderly, that you have a legal obligation to take care of them. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and reset till January the 5th. And we'll see what is happening. And just remember, because I want to be clear that this child support obligation is for $300. I don't have a clue as to what your other obligation is for. I do know, however, that if you only pay $300, it's going to split, and this mother is not going to get $300. So, Attorney Carson, can you tell me how much the other case is so that he'll know exactly what he needs to pay so that Ms. Bowler can...
The custodian has requested that case be closed. Is about $23 in fees. As soon as that $23 is paid, the case will close. Otherwise, it was $609 a month.
Oh, okay. So you don't. So that one is not going to draw any money.
No.
Okay. So you're in luck. You just have to make sure that you make that $300 payment, and then if you have it, make that $23 payment, and that case will go away for you. Okay.
Yeah, I want to pay all of it. That's what I'm saying to you, Your Honor. You're making it seem like I just want to take care of my mother and brother instead of my daughter.
I'm only going by what you've been doing for the last 6 months. That's all. That's my evidence. So that's all I can say. Okay, so I'm going to dismiss both of you. January the 5th, you will return, and have a Merry Christmas.
You too. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, position number 16, Gerald Stinson and Paulette Harris. Okay, so I am showing that we have received no payments, Mr. Stroud. And I know I've spoken to you before, so tell me what is going on.
I've just been looking for new employment.
Do you have employment right now?
I'm gonna have an interview coming up on the 19th.
Mr. Stroud, you need to know that your driver's license was suspended on 10/29.
You said they were suspended?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and what do I have to go about to get them reinstated?
You need to go into the office. Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
You need to go into the office, the child support office. They're going to tell you how much money you are going to have to pay to get it reinstated. So now you have escalated your situation, because rather than just having to pay the $400, you're going to have to pay a purge amount, which is more than likely going to be more than the $400. So that's what happens when you don't take care of things in an expedient way. Okay, so I am going to reset for January the 5th to make sure that you do go into the office and find out what you need to do. And that way, when you come back, you can, let Miss Jordan know basically what the purge amount is, so that she'll know that she's going to expect some money.
Also, Mr. Stroud, looks like they sent you an invitation to the fatherhood program. Did you receive that?
No, I haven't received it through the mail.
Yeah, make sure we've got the correct address for you.
And just to let you know, Mr. Stroud, because people do this all the time, they don't pay attention to things, and things keep escalating, and they could find themselves then in a very, very bad, they start out in a bad situation, but you end up in a very, very, very bad situation. If you're driving and your license has been suspended, then, there's going to be more fines, more issues that are going to occur because of that. And none of this is going to go away until you begin taking care of these responsibilities. So I just want to make sure you understand that, because a lot of times people come in and they explain all of these issues that have led to their bad luck, but it's not really bad luck. You're in control. You need to pay your child support. You need to go into that office. You need to see what needs to be done so that you can get your driver's license restored. If you ignore it, I can pretty much guarantee things are just going to go downhill. Okay.
All right.
Miss Jordan, are you okay?
Yes, I'm fine.
Okay, we're working on it. We'll try to see what we can do to get things on track.
I'm sorry, Mr. Stroud, did you get my chat with the address that we had? I want you to confirm whether that's correct or not.
Yes, that's correct.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to dismiss you until January the 5th, 2024. Okay.
So we both come back at that date?
Yeah, because I'm not certain where Mr. Stroud is with things. We might have to do an arrest warrant, so I would need you to know that you have to come in and sign.
Okay.
Okay.
Mr. Stroud, when you go in the office, ask them about that fatherhood because they sent you the letter, and if you didn't get it, it's kind of important. That's job opportunities.
Okay.
Okay.
And you said you have to file an arrest warrant?
I'm not telling, no, that would be on January the 5th.
Okay.
Okay, but I have not issued it yet. Right now, all you have is a reset for January the 5th of 2024. But on that date, I'm going to follow up to make sure that you have been into the office and found out what you need to do to get your driver's license. You need to follow up with the fatherhood program. I'm not trying to put you in jail. I want you to start moving forward and doing things that are going to prevent you from having to be in jail. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, good luck and have a Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Same to you.
You're welcome. Oh, she sent a message. She's at work and not able to attend. But she's having problems meeting her child's needs because, according to her, you gave her $75, but your child support obligation is $260. So, what are you going to do, Mr. Clark?
I'm going to make the payment, ma'am. I know I'm supposed to be make more payments, but like I said last time, I was going through a job issue at the moment. I just recently got a job, so I started last week, so I don't get paid till Tuesday. So that was I talked to her. I talked to her yesterday and let her know that we would make the payments or whatever, and she said okay, which I don't know what she's going to say. I can't say, but I will make the payments. I'm trying to keep everything up as we go on. You know what I'm saying? So I was out of job. So by now that I just got this job, I'm trying to make the payments now.
Now, is this job one that we can do an income deduction order through?
I'm not sure, ma'am. But I will find out everything.
Do you get a regular paycheck, and did you fill out W-2 information?
No, I didn't fill out no W-2 information.
Oh, okay. Okay, so ideally that would be the best thing, but what I'm going to do, because she's at work and not able to attend, I'm going to put you down for January the 5th.
Yes, ma'am.
So that you can return, and I do expect you to have made that child support payment for December, because you know your child is going to have wants and needs for Christmas.
Yes, ma'am.
Try to get it to her before then.
I will.
For that December payment, and then we're going to discuss that.
What happened? I'm sorry, I just came. I just put the break.
Okay, I did get your chat. So what we discussed, he just recently got a job, and he is going to make that payment of $260 to you before Christmas. Is that right, Mr. Clark?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh yeah, she had said you could if you do it on Cash App, just put her name and it'll be credited to her account. So you can
no, it has to come through the child support office. It can't go that way. He's under order to pay through the child support.
Is this Miss Ridley? Is this Miss Ridley?
Yeah.
Are you Miss Ridley? Oh, okay.
It's me.
Okay, so yeah, we're gonna go ahead and have him pay through the through the child support, DHS. Okay, and the next hearing is going to be on January the 5th.
Okay, we shouldn't need no hearing because he should. Okay, we gonna.
Okay. Okay, so you are dismissed. Have a good Christmas.
All right, thanks.
Really?
Oh, you're back in full vision, though. I can see clearly now.
Yes, I don't even. It must be some way that the sun hits that causes.
I don't think so. It looked like a technical thing because when you'd move it in certain ways, you'd flash on and flash off. So
I don't know.
Okay, I'm not sure who this is, but I'm about to.
Yeah, I mean,
put her back in the waiting room.
Well, I'm gonna. Yeah, I mean, if somebody's sleeping, there's just nothing I can do with that. So whoever that is, well, I guess we need to figure out.
These two are position 18.
Okay, are you Mr. Eddie Temple III? Are you Mr. Temple? Your audio needs to be connected.
I believe his audio is on.
Really?
Mr. Temple, can you hear us? Shake your head if you can hear us. Okay, can you talk? Speak. Oh, well.
I don't know what's going on here. We can't seem to get Miss Ross connected, and we can't hear him.
I sent her a link to connect by video, but I'm not sure what's going on.
Yeah, this is
okay. He sent a chat to everyone. Did you see that? He turned on the audio.
But we still can't
hear
him. Okay, let's resolve it this way because we could be here forever.
Should I suggest to him to log off and then log back on, and maybe it'll connect that way?
I think we're still going to have a problem with her. So, I'm just going to tell him that he needs to pay $263 for December and return on January 5th for hearing, because I don't know what's going on, but we've been having quite a bit of issues.
Temple, did you see the response that the judge sent to you in the chat? Shake your head if you see the response. Okay, Judge, he did get the response that you sent him.
Okay, so let's go ahead and dismiss both of these, and we'll just try again in January because I just don't know what else to do. He sent this. He doesn't know why Miss Ross is wasting all of our time. Come on now. You're not paying. I did want to talk to you. So have you heard anything from Mr. Price?
No.
No money, right?
No.
Okay. I think the only way that we're going to get this resolved is to just go ahead and issue an arrest warrant. Okay, because he has expressed he's expressed to me that he is not going to pay this child support, and that is considered wanton and willful.
Oh Lord, that's sad. That is sad.
Yeah,
that is sad. And you know, it's sad because our daughter had their holiday luncheon yesterday, and my ex-husband had to go up there because he just I don't get it. I don't know. And our other daughter birthday is on the 19th. So hey, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I had a meeting with my daughter's teacher, our 5th grade, our daughter who's in the 5th grade, and I tried to express to them, about the absence of him and, how much it has affected her, because as much as I want my girl's father in their lives, I've never told him, I never told my children that they can't see their dad. He was doing a lot of illegal things that which caused me to move, and I couldn't give out my address. So I offered to meet him places, but he didn't want to do that. So I don't know what else to do. I don't. I mean, you don't want to take care of him. You want to help me. I don't know what else to do.
You're doing what you need to do. I mean, this is all you can do. I mean,
I just pray, I had to. Our youngest daughter doesn't understand Judge Scott because she like that. It doesn't matter, what he do right or wrong. That
he idolizes her daddy, right?
Yeah, she loves, and I'm not gonna. I was the same way with mine. I was raised with 2 fathers. My mom, when she remarried, my dad, he raised me. So, but it never took away from the love that I had for my real father. And I get it, because she loves my ex-husband too. He was. I didn't, she said, "Well, can you call him?" And I called. He was like, "I'll be there." He was there at 11 o'clock, waiting for them to start at 12. So I tried, try to fill that void, and like I said, I had to sit her down to get her to understand that I'm not the bad guy. I don't want you to think I don't want you with your dad. You're more than welcome to go to his house. You're more. They have phones, so there's no reason why he can't, or they don't communicate with him. So I've told you can go on the weekends. You want to go, you can go. But when her birthday came around, nobody heard from him. So it was. I don't know what else to do.
But that's still, that's still hurtful for her. So be careful, because you know, we think sometimes that they're okay, but they're really not.
No,
So
they're
keep in
not. She's
mind.
lashing out in school. That's why I was saying I had to have a meeting with her teachers because she's lashing out. And I'm, you know, I have structure in my house, and, you know, I have a way of going about. So when she goes to school and gives them a hard time, you know, they sense that it's something else. And the only thing that I could tell them is a conversation that we had about her dad. And I pleaded with her to call him, to let him know that I can meet him somewhere. We were just by his house, because I'm not too far from his house, even though we're both in DeKalb County.
How old is she?
She just turned 11. So we have two 11-year-olds that in the they call Irish.
That's a hard age. And honestly, I mean, if he's not going to participate, you may not want to keep pushing her in that direction, because, you know, when they hit those teenage years, they really don't want to be bothered by you or him. They're more into their friends. So just let that happen and let her kind of move him into the past, because it's just going to be too hurtful if he doesn't, you know,
that's
if
where
he's
it
not going to be
is now.
responsive.
That's it. You hit the nail on the head, because that's exactly where it is now with our daughter that's about to turn 12 on the 19th. That's all she wants to do is hang with her friends. She stay in her room. She goes out with her friends every weekend. She's on the dance team at her school, so she stays pretty occupied. But
and it's a defensive mode, but, you know, it's one that you probably need to happen so that she's preoccupied and not dwelling on that. So
it scares me too, because Shania really doesn't talk about her feelings, because it was a time where he would send Shaylin money and or things, Cash App or DoorDash things to the house, and wouldn't send her a dime. I don't, you know, when I try to talk to her about it, she kind of brushed it off like.
If you can, I know everybody can't afford it, but there might be some programs out there. See if she can get a little. Okay, good.
Yep, I have a family science counselor, because when he was sending D-backs to the house, making crazy accusations, and they was going over to their school, that embarrassed them, that humiliated them, and Shania, the soon-to-be 12, she had enough of him. She was like, okay, but she old enough to realize now what daddy is doing. But, you know, the baby girl, she's like I said, she don't care what daddy do. That's still her daddy. She love her daddy. And again, you know, I've expressed to my children, you know, you're more than welcome to see your dad. You're more than welcome to go over there. But I don't know what else to do. I don't
slow down with all of that. You know, you don't have to bring them up. You can say every once in a while that your daddy loves you, but you don't have to, you know, don't do all of that, because I think that, you know, that can, you know, they need the teenage years. They're going to move beyond it anyway. Let it happen, because he's
just too old. He's just too old to be carrying on like this.
Oh, he's going to think about it later when he's so old that he can't be running around out there and the children are the only ones that he kind of has. Then he'll be thinking about it. But
he's almost 60.
Yeah, well, I mean, and it probably is going to be. But you know, there's some folks that are still playing around out there at 60 and 70. You know, I mean.
I don't know. I'm trying to laugh to keep from crying, because when I met the man, he lied about his age, and he was a looking man. You know, he looked young, but when I found out how old he was, I was pregnant with Shania then, and it was like, you
surprise.
That was crazy. But you know, after a decade done passed, it's you know, it never seems to amaze me now with this man, because he moved on just like I did and got married. His wife left him the same way I left. So I was like,
oh gosh, well, you know, so that tells you he is not, as old as he is, he's not going to change. So let those girls grow up and move on. And
I hate that they have to suffer through this whole ordeal, because it's crazy, because like I said, me and my ex-husband, we're no longer together, of course, but he still is in their lives. Like,
that's good. Well, but that is good. So when are you going to come in and sign this arrest warrant?
I can come in today. What time? I have to pick her. Well, I can even come between. I don't know how.
It's no rush. It's not urgent. You know. I mean, but I just want to make sure, you know, come on in, sign the warrant, and then I can come in and sign my line, and then, you know, this will move on. And you know, I don't know if he'll learn anything through an arrest or not, but what can you do?
What courthouse is the one off Camp Creek or downtown Decatur?
Camp Creek. It's that one off the Camp Creek.
I just sent you the address in the chat.
It's right up the street from me.
Okay. And Judge, unfortunately, the system is down, so she wouldn't be able to come in and sign today. But we work. But the IT people are working on it.
Okay, so you can call on Monday and see if everything is up working. Should be. We never stay down that long. And that way we don't want to waste your time having you come in when you can't do it. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
You have a Merry Christmas. I was hoping we could get you some
tough
Christmas money.
Well, I'm okay with the money. You know, it would have been cool if they would have had, something from him. But I know your job is hard doing what you do. But at the same time, I appreciate you. I didn't ever want to do this, but my hands are tied at this point. But thank you guys. Thank you, Corey. I really appreciate you. And if I don't see you again before the holidays, have a happy holidays. Be safe and God bless you.
Let me let you know, because this is going to be our last time seeing each other. So I wish you the best of luck, because now it's going to move on. Once he's arrested, it moves to state court. So it won't be back in my court again. Okay. I tried, but he's a tough cookie. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Good luck to you.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Miss Harris, if you're driving, please pull over and unmute yourself, please, so the judge can hear you.
Okay. And once you're pulled over, if I could have both of you raise your right hands, please.
Yes.
Okay. So I am showing that there have been no child support payments since July. And it looks like that was an income deduction order. So can you tell me what is going on, Mr. Mallard?
I'm not working, but I did notify the child support people, and I'm supposed to be entering the fatherhood program, and they're supposed to be helping me find a job. So I did notify.
Mr. Mallard, did you finally get the invite? Because it says here that you requested an invite, but you never got the email.
No, I never got it, and I called, I think, last week to get another invite, and I was trying to reach out to the case manager, but she never got back to me. So
Okay.
I reached out to child support again last week, and she said she's going to send another request over to the case manager, so I can.
I'm going to send you what we have for your email address, and you can confirm that in the chat.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so Ms. Carson, are you able to get that forwarded to him?
I'm going to send another message to see if we can get that done.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to reset you for January the 5th, but I do expect that you're going to make a payment before Christmas of $420, because you've gone a long time without paying anything, and I can't just leave it that you're just going to wait for the fatherhood program to do everything in this case. Your child is coming up on Christmas. You need to be able to provide something. Is there a reason why you're not working a job?
I just can't find employment. It's by background. Some of them just say background, and then some of them don't respond at all. So, but I'm looking for.
Okay,
I'm actively looking for a job.
Yeah, because this is a long time, to go without working, and there are places out there that don't care about background, so you need to, try and work a little harder to find something. I know places like Waffle House, they don't go into all of that. Uh-oh, did we lose them? Okay, Ms. Harris. I guess he didn't like what I had to say. How are you doing, Ms. Harris?
I'm fine, because he have been working, and that's the thing. He's not telling the truth. He have been working, so he's just not telling the truth.
I think this is him coming back in.
I lost,
okay.
I lost connection. I'm sorry. I'm back though. Yeah. I apologize.
Okay, we're not sure what's going on with the judge, Mr. Mallard, but you need to pay $420 before Christmas, and you guys, both you and Ms. Harris, will be reset for January the 5th, 2024. The judge wants you to have a great holiday, but Mr. Mallard, make sure you get with that fatherhood program and pay that $420 before Christmas. Is this correct, Judge? Okay, we still can't hear you, but I saw you nod your head. At this time, do you want to excuse them, Judge, or no? Okay, you guys are excused. You guys have a safe holiday.